Today on the pod, we're speaking to Tony. Now, he's got a clothes shop that specialises in a niche, doing around $500,000 a year. 95% of his sales come from in-store in the shop, and only 5% come from the online store. There's a huge opportunity here. He's not really doing any e-com. And in a world where the internet is ruling, why can't he take a big slice of that pie? This is such an untapped opportunity, and we're here to help him grow his business. Strap yourselves in. Welcome back to the Business Broadcast. I'm James Sinclair, and you are?
I am James Burt, and today we are talking to lovely Tony. Well, I'm saying he's lovely, he might not be, he might be horrible. He doesn't look it, he looks very nice. Tony's from a company called Suave Owl, and they do bespoke menswear, and from what I can work out, it's for unusual sized stuff.
Has he told you that, or have you made that
He's
up?
told me that. He's told me. I don't know if it was a brag. He went, I'm a 54-inch chest and a 21-inch neck. I was like, I'm very happily married.
21-inch what?
21-inch neck. 21-inch neck. What did I say?
I thought you said deck.
No. He's 54-inch chest, 21-inch neck. So I think he's like a rugby fitted geezer. He's based in Bath, so I'm thinking he's probably linked to like rugby and stuff. Do we have to start this podcast again? We've never had to do it.
No.
In our career of this podcast.
I honestly thought you said a 21-inch deck.
No, I did not say that. And the more you keep saying it, the more it brings up the thing that I didn't say. Anyway, he does menswear for big geezers. Rugby players and the like. I think as well.
When I was a kid, there used to be a shop called High and Mighty. Do you remember that?
There was.
Don't see that no more.
You don't see that anymore, do you? Probably wouldn't. That you get cancelled for that these days, wouldn't you? You can call it High and Mighty. But I wonder if that still exists.
Don't know. It'd be an online. I'm sure we've had someone on the pod before that had a specialist niche business.
I think you're right. I think we did.
But yeah, and I think they were like the online version of High and Mighty.
That's it. Because I think it's kind of like, for what I can make out, this is like fancier version of like Giacomo was like a big advertiser, wasn't it? Like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Got it.
Anything you want to say about the shirt, by the way? Because I saw you do that glance down.
No, I like that shirt.
You do like that shirt.
I do like that shirt.
Wonderful. And Chuds reckons that you've come dressed up as a football thug today.
Because
it looks a bit stone-on.
I put on a shirt this morning, walked out the house. I thought, a little bit chilly.
It is chilly,
so
isn't
I went
it?
and grabbed a little
There's
jumper.
a nip in the air.
But I've got shorts on. I see you've got shorts on.
I'm not taking them off.
There you go.
To a business masterclass, I'm not taking these off. Anyway, Tony at Suave Hour, he has been going for 8 years. He does between 30 and 60 grand a month. He's got 2 members of staff. Biggest challenge, marketing effectively. Second biggest challenge, I think this comes down to the first biggest challenge. Online sales currently only equates for 5% of their annual turnover.
Online is 5%.
Yes. So most of the people are going, and most of his revenue comes via people going into the shop.
Interesting. Do you buy all your clothes online, or do you still buy them in shops?
Just from whichever jumble sale is on locally. I thought I'd get that joke in before you. No, I go to the shops.
Yeah, I still go to shops for clothes. What about you, Chubbs?
Yeah, I prefer the shops.
You prefer the shops?
I prefer the shops. I prefer buying everything in person.
Really?
I guess,
Food?
okay, maybe not like if I need some batteries for a camera, or if I need
bar Amazon spend.
Yeah.
Because he's a homeowner now. He wants to go touch it, feel it, have a look at the curtains. I
think it makes so much, even more expensive camera gear that I know I could buy online. I want to go to the shop and speak to the people in there.
Yeah.
I think I am the anomaly there, maybe. But
yeah, I think clothing is one of those, even though you've got like a boohoo man and all that sort of stuff that makes it easy, like, well, you can send it back anytime. It's just the hassle, isn't it? I've got it all, I'll unpack it all, I'll try it on, I don't like it, I need it slightly tighter. When you're in a shop, you can go, oh, the leg's a bit long or the waist is a bit tight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get it done and dusted, in and out. But I still understand why it's a challenge for him to only have 5% of the revenue coming via online. And that is where he wants to improve. Third biggest challenge, growing the wholesale side of the business. We asked Tony, where do you want to be in 1 year's time, Tony? He said he wants to have a thriving online and wholesale business. So we better give him some good advice in this podcast then. He said, what will your business look like when it's finished? He said, a well-known national and international brand that has a self-sufficient, high-skilled and functional team that allows me to concentrate on what I enjoy doing within the business. Do you make the profit that you want to make? We always ask entrepreneurs that. And if so, what is it? He said, no. On average, we're doing 5 to 10 grand a month, depending on the month. And based on him doing 30 to 60K, Those are good margins, more than the 30% that we ordinarily have on this podcast, to be fair. How do you spend your day-to-day time in the business? He says, I have to be in the shop day-to-day, doing the day-to-day tasks, overall management of the company, whilst also serving customers and trying to create social content to advertise to customers. This was working in a bespoke menswear shop. Was my first ever job out of school.
It used to be
I loved it.
in the rag trade.
I can size people up. I can look at them and know what size they are.
Really?
I can still do it now.
Yeah.
I used to love it. It was such a great job.
Yeah.
You get to meet people. You
So
learn
what size
about.
am I?
You would be. Well, it depends on the day of the week. Have you trained? You trained today, haven't you?
No, not today, no.
I would say that you are a 34 waist. You're a 44 chest, maybe a 44 long actually. Probably a 34 inside leg and a 17 and a half collar.
That is about it, yeah. Well done. Is that your interesting fact of the week?
Yeah, that's my interesting skill of the week, yeah.
I'm actually suitably impressed.
It was such a good job though, because you learnt to deal with the public. I was like 16 years old and we used to do wedding parties. And we had it was a very affluent area. I grew up in an area called Gerrards Cross, but there was Europe's biggest traveller site was down the road. So I used to do a lot of traveller weddings. I tell you what, you get very good. They can spend, and I tell you what you don't want to get wrong is the sizes of a traveller wedding. Let me tell you that for nothing. So that's why I got good at sizing stuff up quick. Great job though. Go. I think all kids should do a retail job.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And
or be waiters or waitresses.
Yes, have to deal with the public.
Waitresses and waiters in restaurants would be a very good job to set you up for life.
Will you send your kids into a retail job, do you reckon?
Not retail, because I don't think but definitely a waiter or a waitress.
Yeah, like a service-based job.
Yeah, we have to meet all walks of life and be able to talk to them comfortably.
Yeah. What was I chatted this week to someone who was first ever job was working for you.
Who?
A guy called Gary Winter.
Was he a magician?
He was a magician.
Yeah,
Gary Winter. He's gone on to absolutely smash it. He runs a really successful affiliate marketing company now.
Does he?
Yeah.
He was always good at techie stuff.
Yeah.
He used to look like the Haribo kid. Does he still look like that?
Still looks like the Haribo kid, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. What was your first ever job, Chuds?
Waiter.
Was it? See?
Did it for 6 months. As soon as I turned 16, my dad was like, go on in. I was like, what? Like, go ask for a job. I was like, why? I was like, because I said so. And then it was like 2 minutes down the road from it. It was a local pub, bar place. I served Sunday dinners for 6 months. And then I made 50 quid on YouTube and I said, can I quit my job now and just do YouTube? And my dad went, yeah, all right.
There you go.
There you go.
All kids should do a retail job though, or something that deals with the public.
So how did you come across Gary Winter?
He's about to do a podcast.
Wow.
And we got chatting. He's messaged me on LinkedIn. He's like, I listened to the podcast. I went, I listened to the podcast, but I know Jim really well from back in the day. My first ever job was being a magician.
Yeah, that's right. He was good as well at magic.
Yeah.
Close up.
He's a very, very smart lad.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that he obviously picked up off you back in the day, he's still applied.
Yeah.
2 years in, he's got 36 staff. They do 3-4 million quid a year. He's doing good.
And affiliate marketing
and smashes it.
Yeah. Wow. We should get him on the pod.
We should get him on the pod sometime.
Yeah.
Gary Winter, here's your invite. Come on the pod.
Okay, right. Let's get a knock on the door.
There is a knock on the door indeed. It's time for this.
Interesting quote or fact. Interesting quote or fact. It's time for the interesting quote or fact of the week.
And if you think that jingle is jarring, wait till you listen to what I've got coming up later in the show.
Wow, there you go.
Jimbo put a message in the WhatsApp group. We need some JP. We've had some hate on YouTube. People are saying we need to ask a certain question.
No,
need a jingle.
Have we forgotten to? Are we going to do that?
We're going to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
I think that was when I started the podcast before you were born, I we used to ask everyone that came on the podcast when I was doing it solo.
When it was rubbish. What? Huh? Carry on.
We used to ask everyone, how'd you get your first customer?
Yeah.
And it became a thing that people would look most forward to how'd you get your first customer?
It is a great question as well. It's stupid that we don't do it.
And we stopped it.
In the words of James Sinclair, stupid.
It is stupid.
Stupid.
People used to like it. I really love that bit because I think it's a cuddle, isn't it? Or a reminder to the listener that, I need to be doing
also,
that.
how simple it can be to get clients in a world where you overcomplicate.
Absolutely.
Just remember, you just made a phone call.
Yeah.
You just send a DM, whatever it may be. I like the person on you, whoever it was on YouTube. Thank you for reminding us. It's
Yeah,
like
that's
36 minutes in, you finally asked the marketing person how they do marketing. Well done. Oh, somebody's tired. But very valid feedback.
So are you going fact or quote?
I'm getting inundated with quotes and facts. So I'm just going to deliver what I've been sent. I'm going to go for a fact.
A fact. I'm going to do a quote.
But it's
then.
a bit like an inspirational fact.
Yeah. I've got a sort of a cheeky quote.
Oh, go on.
But I've asked 3 or 4 people for permission that I can read it out on the pod, and they went, yeah, no, it's not that bad. But do you want to go first?
Oh, this is lending itself well. Yeah, okay, I'll go first. So, fun fact, according to Connor Chandler, thank you very much, Connor Chandler Property on Instagram. He said, fun fact, Herman Melville, the author of Moby Dick, was 30 years old when he published it. He died 40 years later, believing the book was an utter failure. Little did he know it would go on to become an all-time masterpiece.
Wow.
So he wrote it at 30, died at 70, 40 years later, and the book still hadn't taken off. And then it became Moby Dick.
Wow. There you go. Well, that's very interesting. I think he sent that to me as well. Or did you send that to me?
Maybe I sent it. He probably sent it to you as well, but he probably knew that you were going to ghost him, so he sent it to me because I've become inadvertently your PA.
Thank you.
People on LinkedIn are like, I'm trying to get hold of James Sinclair. Can you help? I'm like, no. He doesn't respond to me.
My quote comes from someone that watches us, and I can't remember who it was, but thank you, whoever sent it in. You'll know it's you.
The fact you've had to verify it with people worries me and delights me.
Business is like a penis.
Here we go.
Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, but it's never up for long.
That is very good and very depressing.
What are you laughing
in
at?
every sense of the word.
I am.
Chud's a younger man than us. He
Whoever
doesn't
thought
get
of
that
that?
reference at the moment. He's
Can
like, what
I
are you
just
talking
say,
about?
Whoever thought of that? It's bloody genius.
That is very good.
There we go.
That is very good. There you go. There's interesting facts of quote of the week.
Hey gang, we're going back to the pod in just a moment, but I wanted to tell you about Entrepreneurs University. This is a platform that I've created for entrepreneurs and business owners that are serious about growth. There's 100 video lessons from me on everything in business, raising finance, buying companies, property investment, and everything in between. Attached to each video is a downloadable PDF that goes into more detail about what we've learned in the video. It goes one step further than that because I've also put stuff that you won't get anywhere else onto Entrepreneurs University. The lessons go into way more detail, but not just that. You're going to get my business plans, my spreadsheets, and all the files that I use to drive the KPIs in my business. Just think about how powerful that could be for your business. And here's the good news. You can try Entrepreneurs University for free. 14-day free trial. After that, it will cost you just $49.99 a month. That's less than a pair of Nikes to grow the profitability in your business. There's a link in the video description, and I cannot wait to see you in Entrepreneurs University.
Right, should we get our guest Tony on? Should we ask it? Should we help him with these challenges because he's got only 5% of the revenues coming online. He needs the support and the love. Let's get him on the pod. Tony, are you there, sir?
I am, my friend. How are you?
We are very well, thank you, mate. Very well.
So we're going to do this new feature
we are,
so we don't
right,
forget.
So before we forget, we've if you're a long time listener of the show, Tony, we used to do this thing, or Jimbo used to do this thing. He'd ask how you got your first customer. And then we forgot to do it. So anything that we need to do on the podcast, we like to create a jingle, which is slightly unnecessary and over the top. This one is probably going to get us demonetized off YouTube, Chud. So just so you know, we won't be making any money off this YouTube video. But Tony, the jingle is going to ask the question. We'd like to know, how did you get your first customer?
How did you get your first customer? How'd you get the cash?
How'd you get there? How'd you get the cash? What do you think of that jingle? And by the way, if Jimbo or Chuds didn't like it, I've also got an audio-only version. Here's your lead-in. So if anyone slags off the singing, you can have a go yourselves. What are you thinking of that so far? Chuds,
I love it. I love it.
Mark's out of 10.
10.
Wonderful.
Yeah, 10.
For all the wrong reasons. Jimbo, you fan of the jingle?
I am a fan
Good
of
stuff.
it. Yeah.
I'm waiting for an a cappella version.
Oh,
Can I just say,
absolutely not.
Chuds, before we get into this, Tony, Chuds went to Radio 2 in the park at the weekend in Chelmsford.
I saw that.
So if
Who did you want to see at Radio 2 in the park?
No, a mix of anyone just for the vibes, really.
Welcome
It's-
to
it's-
age.
It's 2 minutes away from my house, right? So
Yeah.
Who was the best person you saw at Radio 2 in the park?
I think Ollie Murs is pretty good.
Ollie Murray. And he's a local boy, isn't he?
Local boy.
Not because I like his music, but I thought he was an entertainer. I thought he performed well.
He knows how to perform, doesn't he?
Yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah,
good vibes.
old Ollie Murray.
Well, basically, all of our features, all of our jingles are basically rip-off of Radio 2.
Yeah, it's gone. It's
Yeah,
gone in that direction
there we
now. Right, Tony, we're coming back to you finally. Sorry, mate. How did you get your first customer?
So that was with a early access open night. And
One
it
more
was
time,
one of
say
our
that again.
best friends.
An Uli.
Oh,
And early.
no, early access open night.
Easy for
the
you to
first
say.
shop when we opened.
What, so you invited people via, direct mail, picking up the phone to come to your shop?
Yeah, predominantly close family members, close friends, etc., etc.
So you was a bit like a traditional network marketer. You were like an Avon girl saying, come to this party.
An Avon girl with a 54-inch chest. And
Yeah.
Yeah, with a
that's
54-inch chest.
That's
and
my
a
kind of
21
Avon.
But that's
belt.
effectively what you did. Yeah. You done good old fashioned traditional network marketing to get
Exactly.
your first customer.
Yeah, that was the very first sale. Was a very close friend of mine.
And how often do you do that sort of network marketing now? Actually go out there, knock on doors and invite people in?
Not as much as I should do at the moment.
And that's why. That's why we're bringing this back, because
Yeah.
I used to do this.
So true.
I had, 200 episodes of the podcast before I'd done it with JB, and we always used to ask this, and people would go, I used to do this, and it really worked. And we
now I
stopped
don't.
doing it.
Yeah, I got to
Yeah.
see
And that's the point of doing it.
Yeah.
So I think, I'm glad we brought it back.
Open night, surely that could be a great thing for you, couldn't it? Make it very experiential for people and get people in a sort of a bunch of time together and make it a bit of a song and dance about it. That would still work, wouldn't it, Tony?
I think it would. Yeah, I mean, my shop is very quirky. It's probably one of the more quirkiest shops in Bath. I think just the layout of itself and the history behind the shop itself is pretty amazing. So it's a great little venue to get people in. It's just trying to draw those people in is proving a little bit more difficult.
Well, it is difficult, and business is difficult. But Tony, can I just say, I just think about this. I think when we start, like any business, we are so proactive, or we start something new. Newness makes us do new things. But it's hard actually picking up the phone, knocking on doors, convincing people to come to it, all of that. But you have to do it in the beginning, or you've got no customers, because you can't afford to do Facebook ads. You can't afford to do marketing to get awareness. You have to do things that are very cost low with high return. But what I think happens to business owners, then they start getting a bit of reputation. They start getting a bit of word of mouth working. They start getting a trickle of turnover, and then they just fall into this operations role rather than a getting cash flow role. And that's just my sort of big lesson to all of us listening, really. That's what we've got to keep on doing, keep on being 80% cash flow generating. That's just my view. Okay, right. Let's crack on with the challenges then, JB.
So challenge number 1 was marketing effectively, which I think leads into challenge number 2 as well, which is online sales are currently 5% of the annual turnover, and this needs to change. Can you give us a bit more context of, in fact, have you told us about your journey? I don't know if you have. We got overexcited with the jingle. How did you actually get into this space from where you were previously? Give us a little origin story in 60 seconds or less, my man.
Basically, Suave Owl was previous to all of this. I was actually a Royal Engineer. I then came out of the army and went into sales. But Suave Owl has all come from me looking for my wedding suit. So not being a part of fashion retail or design in any way, shape or form, realized that there was quite a bit of a gap in the market in size range in suits and just clothes sizes in general. As you've previously stated, my deck was 21 inches. So trying to fit into any shirts, it would always be really baggy around the waist side. I'd then gone backwards and forwards with a manufacturer, designed a shirt to fit myself, which turns out majority of blokes are my size. Sorry, my shape, they're just not my size. So we go from a small up to a 5XL. But that sizing chart goes through the formal shirts, the T-shirts, the polos, and overshirts currently.
So do you have a tailor on site that tweaks everything?
I do not, but I have got a very good business relationship with a tailor that's 5 doors up from my shop. So you kind of just outsource it to him.
Yeah.
So do you sell other brands in your shop, or is it mainly Suave Owl own brand items?
No. So obviously when we very first started, it was just wedding suits.
Right.
And obviously COVID hit. We've gone, oh crap, what do we do? No one's wearing wedding suits anymore. We need to pivot a little bit. So we moved into casual wear. In the very first instance, we got in a Danish brand that I import in. There's actually a couple of Danish brands there. They're a big sort of conglomerate underneath a big umbrella. And we bring them in, and that enabled us to sort of keep the quantities low. And then that was when the own brand products started coming in, where the volume is a lot higher, or stock levels are a lot higher.
So what do you mean by that? Sorry, Tony. What sort of quantities for own brand do you have to bring in?
So own brand at the moment, I've managed to negotiate with the manufacturer. So any color of each item of clothing that I have in my shop is 100 per color, and I can split that over the sizes. So if I want a selection of 3, I've got to order 300 shirts, and so on and so forth.
So, and what does that cause you? A cash flow problem because you got to fund it all?
Exactly that. It can create a bit of cash flow issues, but with the other brands getting them in, there was no minimums, so I could order 1 T-shirt in, and it wouldn't be an issue. But with the own brand products, it's that real quantity of products that you kind of got to try and stock.
And do you make good margins on it?
Yeah, have decent margins. I mean, like T-shirts, not as much. They're kind of my loss leader, if you will. We still make money on them, but not as much as we potentially could do. We always go for really quite upper market materials as well. It's a lot of 100% cotton with elastane in it as well, so it retains its shape and it just elongates the lifespan of the clothing as well.
So the issue there, this challenge here is it cash flow that's the challenge?
I would say cash flow can be a challenge. If I organize myself right and get in where I need the items are clear. I'm very specific. Obviously, seasonal is a massive thing, but I'm very specific on that. But yeah, cash flow can be an issue.
And those, if you buy 100 shirts, MOQ per colour, 95% of that is being sold in the shop.
Yes, correct. And then we've got our return customers. I mean, my customer retention rate's about, my reordering customers are about 25% of my turnover is returning customers.
Just what I'm trying to work out is, I know you're protective of your margins here, but are you making like 70% GP? Is that sort of the...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and if your retention rate is good, why are you not going to... Because I think niche businesses like this do very well. Once they find the customers, they keep coming back to you because you're not Next, you're not John Lewis. You know, I am this shape and size and I need that niche, and there's riches in niches. Why do you not go and contact one of the big London agencies that specialise in e-com retail around clothing and fashion and saying, look, I've got this really good product, you know, I'll give you 15%, 10% of the revenue that you generate for me on e-com sales, and they'll pay for the ads and do all of that stuff, and then you really only pay on results then.
To be totally honest with you, James, I didn't even know that was really an option. I mean, I know there are obviously agencies out there that will take on this side of things, but
you don't want a broad service agency. You want an there is one that I remember this 3 or 4 years ago. They actually approached us, Teddy-tastic, and they wanted to take all of our teddy bears and they were going to set up the direct-to-consumer website. They was going to build it. Then I think it was they would get 15% of the revenue. And within that 15% of the revenue, they would pay for all the Google AdWords as well.
Really?
But, you know, because, you know, they would take all the photographs, the photography. they sort of let us down. It didn't really work out. And COVID, it was around COVID, actually, I remember, and it all just sort of went down the pan. But I then went on sort of the gravy train of research into this space. And actually, if you've got a well-selling product in a niche that isn't Amazoned, that isn't eBayed, I think, because you've got to either understand it yourself to do very well in this space. And probably you do want to read 3 or 4 books on it. You do want to go to seminars on it. You do want to understand the broadness of the subject to get very good at Google ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, so that you're not being spun a yarn, so that you can then, you're probably going to end up spending £300, £400, £500 a day, maybe even £1,000 a day on ads. But if you get that right and you get a 5-6 times ROAS, but hey, I mean, look, I reckon, what's your average order value when people are in the shop?
It varies, but roughly about 120 quid is the average.
Ads are going to work for you on the internet. I mean, it could absolutely game change your business. Why have you not dived into it? Is it because of fear of understanding it?
Yeah, I mean, I have, when I say dived into it, I have gone through it a few times. I've looked at Facebook ads, I've done Google ads, and I know this is a common recurrence on the pod, but this is, I've educated myself. I've not necessarily gone to anybody else through fear of being taken advantage of, or through an agency or anything.
Well, let me tell you now, this is what's going to happen, Tony. Some people are absolute nightmares in this space. Some agencies are absolute nightmares in this space, and you are going to have to kiss a few frogs to find your prince. I mean, you want to find someone that running an agency that used to work for Boohoo, that used to work for one of the big fashion brands, that knows a lot about it but can niche you down. I mean, we do it on Party Pieces. It's taken us about 9 months to get our ROAS from 2.5 to 4, and all about ROAS.
You're up to 4 now?
Yeah, we're up to 4.
That's good.
It's taken a long time.
In-house?
In-house.
Nice.
Dom, thank you, Dom. Amazing. But one of the biggest ways of getting a good ROAS is getting that basket spend up. When we first took over Party Pieces, we're getting about £33 basket spend. So if you can then drive it up and get it past £70, every time that I've found someone that does over £70 average order value on Google ads seems to get quite a good ROAS. So if you're telling me it's £120, I think you're going to get a good ROAS. And here's the great thing, because you're in a niche, once they've got that t-shirt that they can't get from Next, they can't get from John Lewis or Matalan or wherever it is that they go shopping, I think they're going to come back to you. So that ROAS will just get stronger and stronger because you've got lifetime value from the customer. And to me, it's a slam dunk opportunity you've got here.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is obviously influencer marketing in this space is, again, because it's a niche, you find those rugby players, you find those people that are got followings in this space, and you probably need to be giving away 5-10 grand's worth of clothing a year, maybe more, and get them to mention it on their stories. I mean, I really would be what you've got to get your head around is you pay for business rates for your shop, you pay for rent for your shop, you pay to have that premises. It's the same sort of mindset with when you spend your money on the internet. It's just people can't sometimes get their head around it.
I think that's it. Yeah, it's just a panic of essentially just chucking money into a black hole and getting no return on it. I mean, we have run ads and we have done Google ads and but they haven't performed anywhere near the good. And that's where I need that kind of expertise to really push it out there.
Also, the website has to perform, doesn't it? And the website has to be, an e-commerce website has to be so out of the park now. It needs to make sure the speed is good on the website. There's no broken links on the website. I mean, here's the big thing. Anyone that I know that does websites really well, this is a very good mindset for people to have. If you was going to open a new shop and you wanted, say you was going to go and open a farm shop, right? Because I think people need to play along in their mind's eye here. You was going to go and open a farm shop from scratch. So JB, let's play the game. Me and you. So there's a greenfield site. You're going to open a farm shop on there.
Good.
You know, you've bought the greenfield site. How much does that cost you? Let's do it on the whiteboard. Come on, let's bring it together, baby. So, I mean, what's your greenfield site going to cost you?
Greenfield site? What's it going to cost me?
I've got 5 acres. What, 200 grand an acre? It's £1 million quid.
I spent £1 million. I'm happy with that.
And then you got to build the shop on site.
How much is that going to cost me? £500,000?
No, I think that's going to cost you as much as the land.
Oh, bloody
so maybe let's say 1.5. Yeah.
1.5, okay.
Yeah, so 2.5 in.
2.5.
And then you got some car parks, 500 grand. Yeah, I mean, this is big money. Yeah, 3 million just.
I might go back to ecom.
And then you got to stock the shop and put all the stuff in, fit it out. It's going to be a big shop. Say £1 million there as well.
Yeah, 4. Okay, I'm in for 4.
And then you got a staff. You have a manager, a general manager, and shopping and looking good and all of that stuff. You know, what, you're going to have 20 full-time staff to run your shop because you want to get it to doing 3-4 million of revenue a year.
So another 600 grand in wages.
Maybe, yeah.
So I'm in for 4.6.
So my big, and then what we're saying, the revenue there we're going to have is going to be 5 million of revenue. Now, it's a very simple game here because people can say, well, I own the land. I've built a car park. I've put stock in. I've got a thing that I can see. People just don't value a website in the same level other than the people that get it right. You would put 20 full-time staff to run a big retail shop to keep it going. Maybe even more. People then say, I'm going to build a website and I'm going to get this agency that are probably going to spend 20 hours a month on it and it's going to turn me into the next Jeff Bezos. How about no? If you really want a website to really perform, it's got to have a full-time team on it. We have got 3 people in our business now that are just working on digital. Carl, Dom and Muti. And that doesn't include our marketing team, just on our website. And you know what? It ain't enough. And my little message here for anyone that if you really want to crack e-com, you've got to have a full-time team. You wouldn't just have your shop. I mean, what do you say your shop's doing? About $500,000 a year revenue. Is that right, Tony?
Yeah, I'd say that.
And how many full-time staff have you got running that shop?
2.
And you?
And me, yeah.
So you got 3 full-timers to make $500,000 of revenue.
Yeah.
I put it to you that if you put 3 full-time staff on this website, now whether you can cash flow and afford that, that's not the point here. I'm just saying if you put 3 full-time staff just on this Suave Owl website e-com team, I think you'll find that very quickly will eclipse the $500,000 that you do on bricks and mortar.
Okay. And yeah, I absolutely think at the moment getting people, it's finding that talent as well though, James, isn't it?
Yeah, but what are you doing? Are you going to get your milk from the front door that the milkman's been? There's going to be 3, ex-Boohoo staff or ex-John Lewis e-com staff or 3 senior developers from Amazon just waiting in your front garden. No. There's going to have to be. They hang out? No. There's not the way it works. You know that. You've got to be a Sherlock Holmes looking for the talent.
Yeah.
And you've probably got to find out where they hang out. What seminars do they go to? What conferences do they go to? How are you going to educate yourself to be better to understand the space? And once you start going into something, you're presented with more and more and more.
Yeah, I get that. We do have there is another sort of menswear accessory brand that is not too far away from us. And I have had a few meetings with the founders of that to try and kind of understand how they attack it and how they go.
Look, what's mastery? It's 10,000 hours of practice, purposeful practice in any one section. So JB obviously knows loads about podcasts, marketing and media because you've done over 10,000 hours in this space. Just pure and simple. If you asked me about M&A, I'm getting close to, I think I understand more about mergers and acquisitions now than nearly all the accountants I come across that work in that space full time. Because not only have I got an understanding of it, but I've got purposeful practice in the space. Raising money, I'm getting very good at that. I know how to do that stuff. You know that the secret, Tony, for you to have an absolutely thumping business, making lots of money, is having that one shop that becomes your studio, your marketing, TV, podcast, studio pumping out content to drive clicks, where bricks and clicks can work so spectacularly well together. But what are we doing about it? We know that we need to do it, but where are we putting purposeful practice to educate ourselves, to make ourselves masters of e-com? Because that's really what you need to do. You need to be spending tens of hours a week understanding that space.
Yeah, like I completely agree.
What is the average ROAS for this sector, where you don't have to research it? You just know it, like you know how to make a cup of tea without thinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think this is the main thing about, obviously the online sales and driving traffic to their website is just kind of getting that brand story and understanding people what they're actually looking for in regards to when they come onto the website. They know exactly what they're here for, what they've come to do, basically. I'm getting that message out, even from you guys at the start of the pod. You've said about, it sounds like a Giacomo or a high and mighty. The problem here within that is because I've said that I'm a big guy. The problem is you say big guy and then the big guys come, but not the right big guys, if you know what I mean. So we get a lot of arguments in the shop with lads in the 5XL and it's not fitting them because it's tailored fit and it's cut in. But so, yeah, just getting that marketing across and that effective.
But my friend, you could be doing that by making stories and videos, getting on podcasts. You've got something good here, but you just have to be good on, you've just got to become a marketeer. Can I just tell you a little story? When I started out as an entrepreneur and a business owner, I used to go to as many seminars as I could. And I know you went to all them personal development beach times. And you know what? That stuff really is such a great education. It really teaches. And I remember a speaker saying, he wanted to meet Tony Robbins, or one of the big influencers in this space. And he saw him. I think it was Jim Rohn, actually. So I think it was Jim Rohn, the speaker. I can't remember who the speaker was, but that's probably my first introduction into Jim Rohn. He went up to Jim Rohn and said, I'd love to know more about all this stuff. And Jim Rohn said, read 10 books on the subject, then come and seek me out. Because I think now you would read 100 hours of podcasts, listen to 100 hours of podcasts, 100 hours of podcasts, of YouTube video, and read the books about understanding e-com. That's what I would be doing if I was Tony Harvey. I would be really understanding e-commerce. I don't understand it nowhere near enough in my businesses, but we've started to employ people that have got that 10,000 hours of practice. Tony can't afford that right now. Is that a good idea, Tony? Can you afford to put a full-time e-com person in?
Yeah, probably not at this precise moment.
Yeah. So I would be then working out a plan. How can you afford to do that?
Yeah.
Do you need to, how are you going to find the person? How are you going to learn the stuff so that you can direct someone enough so that you're a bit of an expert, so you're not learning on the job? And what other things do you need to do to find the revenue? Because I think that's just got to happen.
Yeah, I completely understand that and get that. And it's just, as you said, it's just trying to find that right talent and the people that get the brand as well, because that is quite important to me, that whole sort of quality and outfitting self-confidence, that kind of, that whole vibe. And making that engine work.
Once you've also got a bit of a basic understanding of it, then what I'd be doing is going out to 5 agencies and putting it out to tender. Because even if you don't end up using any of them, you get a load of really, really good ideas. You can see how they would approach it. And we know as agency owners that some people are coming in to try and pick your brain, and it is what it is. 1 in 5 of them might be trying to pick your brain, but the other 4 in 5, you win them as customers and clients. So it is what it is. But to Jimbo's point, you've got to have a baseline understanding of the thing so that when they talk about X, Y, Z, you should be doing this, or you should be doing affiliates, or this is how we do influencers, or we should be doing it to landing pages and we should give away discount codes and blah, blah, blah. You've actually got a baseline understanding to either go, yeah, I get that, or why would you do that? So you've got a better context to that information.
Can I just say, I think you have a huge opportunity here. I mean, having the bricks, most people just want to do the clicks. yeah, this is great.
Oh yeah, I've definitely done it, for want of a better word, ass about face, I feel. Whereas majority of the businesses out there at the moment are very much really sort of attacking their online presence. Whereas I've gone, sod this, I'll just open a shop, see what happens.
But the fact is that 1 in 100 people will be willing to do that, Tony. 1 in 100 will be willing to do that.
1,000.
Yeah, maybe even 1,000. But to Jim's point, now make that shop your studio, because I've had a look at it on Instagram and it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
It looks like a really, really cool spot, and you've got a great personality. I can see what you're trying to do with the content. Even just, a sort of someone who comes in to help you with more of the content marketing part of it to start with, I think would be valuable. But you've got, like Jimbo says, such a good opportunity here, because you're already, you can go from good to great with this from where you're at. And you've got such a good, do you remember we had on a guy called Matt who had outdoor clothing, comes to all your events. But
He's gone to, you should reach out to him. We should connect you with him.
Oh, what's Matt's surname?
What do they know?
Clothing, Matthew Holland.
Matthew
Holland. There
And what's the name of the company, Chance?
Holland's Clothing.
Holland's
Country
something.
Clothing.
Yeah.
Holland's Country
Go
Clothing.
and check him out.
Yes.
Reach out to him on Instagram. He's a lovely guy. And they've built a great business, and they've gone from like 3 million to 15 million by just getting e-com on fire. But they've got 2 shops as well.
Which they now use as studios, don't they?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you basically repeat the playbook. But what he's got is he's got a broad mark. I mean, it is country bumpkins, it's horsey, farmy, that sort of thing. But that's much broader than yours. I don't think, everyone can think of 10 places to go and buy farmy, outdoors, country stuff. I wouldn't know where to go for a Suave Owl type customer. You're very lucky that you have that niche.
I think it's right, and niche being the key word there. For a very long time, we have tried to be something to everybody. In our shop, we do wedding suits. I run not wedding events, but wedding parties. Will come in downstairs in my groom's room. I've got a little private bar where you get me for an hour, telling you whether or not you look like a knobhead or not. And then at the end of that, that's when everything becomes payable. But the best thing about that one, locally anyway, is the fact that everybody talks, word of mouth. So I've had a group of lads. There was about 15 of them. One of them was getting married. Of that 15, over the past 8 years, I've yet to fit out one wedding from that group of 15. So word of mouth is massive locally. But that niche, I need to try and drive it more towards the casual wear. It's the overshirts that are really, really picking up at the moment. As I said, with my minimum order quantities, on average between 100 to 150 is what I generally order of my own brand products. 6 weeks was the last. 6 weeks ago was the last delivery, and I've almost sold out.
Yeah, but look, can I just say, like, if you got the e-com right, your cash flow problems will go straight away, because once you can prove that you've got cash flow coming in, there's loads of ways to fund stock inventory that's very simple, that's very instant as well. So that really doesn't concern me. It's just all those things could become very easy. So you just get the e-com sorted out, the funding becomes very simple. What's the second challenges, JB?
Well, the second challenge was around the online sales. Third biggest challenge, we'll jump to that, growing the wholesale side of the business. Wholesale, tell us about that.
Yeah, so my views on wholesale for a long time were, I wanted to kind of have exclusivity in my shop. I didn't want to kind of have it in other people's stores because they potentially wouldn't, get the brand story across and help people understand. Now, we have done it in the past where we had a shop up in Rugby that we passed everything to. We actually did it on a sale or return policy just to kind of test the waters, see if it would work. That all went a bit, again, ass about face. with one of the business owners done one with a load of money. So kind of left us in a bit of lurch and a bit of a sour taste in our mouth. But recently, we've had a couple of big chains get in contact saying that they want to stock our products or stock the the own brand products in their store. I feel like getting the wholesale running is going to allow me to reach other customers by being in other people's stores.
Listen, I would get party pieces. When I think about our brands, like we want to wholesale out because it gets you into marketplaces that you wouldn't have, and it then grows your direct sales. It really does. Who was I talking to about this? I think it was Richard Harpin, who sold a £4.1 billion business, and he was talking about some of his investment brands that he's put into. They got them into John Lewis, they got them into Next, or wherever it was. As soon as they'd done that, they saw their direct sales on their website go through the roof.
Yeah.
So, I do think, you might not make the same margin, but it does widen the brand. And, it's the whole Betamax VHS story, isn't it? That VHS was a inferior product to Betamax, which was the other video thing at the time, but VHS was much better getting to the marketplace and into the mind's eyes, or the zeitgeist, as we like to say, over everything else. I mean, there's loads of stories about that, isn't there?
Yeah.
Coca-Cola, beat everyone else in the soft drinks market because they were just so good at flooding the market. And, they're, whether you like Coca-Cola or not, they are the biggest drinks brand in the world, aren't they?
But if you were doing that again, would you go for a big major partnership first, or would you spread the risk over a few smaller ones?
You're asking me, I'll probably do all of it.
Of course he would.
Yeah. Everyone. Just take my product. Yeah. Well,
no. That's I'm jesting with you there a bit. I would probably be a bit more selective, but I wouldn't. If it made sense, I would do it.
Absolutely. I mean, there are plenty of small independent menswear retailers across the UK that I'm aware of. Obviously, I do a lot of.
It's great as well. Once you've got loads of wholesale work, you can much easier to cash flow making all your own stuff, because banks will go, loads of wholesale. Banks love wholesale. Don't so much like retail unless it's e-com retail. You can say, look, I've got 100 grand's worth of invoices here from all these wholesalers, and then they will fund all your inventory, so you never have to worry about that again.
Yeah. Oh, but obviously, as well, the wholesale will help me enlarge my quantities per order, meaning that I can get it for a bit cheaper from the manufacturer direct.
Absolutely. Increase your range, and all your stuff is timeless, isn't it? It's not really fashion. It's like is that right? It's like a Ralph Lauren product that, is, 20 years ago it was in fashion and today it's in fashion, which is, to me, another massive win for this.
Yeah, and that's the kind of aim. It's that smart, casual, easy product that you can just chuck on t-shirt, overshirt, sorted.
Oh, that's what I absolutely. If you look at Charles Tyrwhitt, which are brilliant marketeers in this space, and Barber. You get a Barber jacket that the Queen wore 1945. They're making it now in 2025.
It's the same jacket.
It's good. I mean, there's a slight tweaks and stuff, but there's throwaway fashion. To be the denim cut of 2025 that was so different to 2020. That really freaks me out. That's why I love our teddy bear business. There's repeatable lines, very good.
Just what I've been doing a bit of Googling. Check out badrhino.com, because they've got an own brand, but they've also gone into stores as well. But they're dotted about across the UK. I think that would be a good model to go and have a look at, because they have spread themselves far and wide. So, worth.
I think in agreement. Sorry, just to quickly cut in before that. If your wholesale will drive your direct to consumer, and I've seen that with Teddy Tastic. We are in all the big holiday parks in the country, and all of those holiday parks have driven that business because we're in Centre Parks, Haven, Butlins. Our brand is in those places, and it's driven us direct to consumer and to other people because by association, it pushes your business up.
And they're branded as Teddy-tastic Bears still in those locations.
Correct.
But like Haven would put like a Haven t-shirt.
Well,
on
sometimes not even that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you go. Bricks and clicks.
How would you, obviously those are some big names there that you've just mentioned. Obviously yourself, you're quite a big name as well, so they're going to want to be associated to you. But how did you even approach that in the first instance? How did you get in there?
Well, every story is different. Buying a company for two of them because they were trade shows. I'm a big fan of trade shows. That's got us all of our biggest customers.
The bigger ones are not coming because it's James Sinclair's company, though, are they?
No, that's tosh.
Just for clarity.
Absolutely tosh.
Yeah.
No, the big names might come in for like Revolut, sponsor us, American Express. Yeah, that for sure. But we're talking about Teddy-tastic.
Yeah.
James Sinclair has nothing to do with it. They do know who I am, those customers. Having businesses that operate in that space, you know, they might come and see Marsh Farm. That helps. Like having a shop will definitely help you with wholesalers as well. Means that you understand the trade. I think that really does help. But knocking on doors, picking up phones, letters in the post. Wholesale is not built by pay-per-click. Wholesale is built much more through old school marketing. D2C is built by the internet. But I mean, trade shows, NEC shows, all of that. If you go to a trade show, it's one of the rare occasions, if you're in the B2B space, well, the chief exec of Sainsbury's might go around and have a look. The chief buyer of Sainsbury's might go, of John Lewis or whatever. They go, right, we're going to the Spring Fair NEC for those 3 days. You have got people going into that room for 3 days just focused on buying. That is their whole job for 3 days. No emails, no meetings. They're in that mindset that we're going to look for stuff. And so I still think, we're going to probably, over the next 4 weeks, because September's big for conferences, trade shows and stuff like that. We've got 20 things across the group where we're doing trade shows. Teddy-tastic got one today in Southampton. We've got NEC, Spring Fair, the Garden Exposition Show. We're going to Barcelona for 3 days at the big international European conferences for exhibitions, for leisure. We're doing Cafe Deli. I've got 10 dates booked to be at trade shows. I'm a big fan of trade shows for the B2B space.
Yeah, I have very, very recently just done a trade show for independent menswear retailers. So it's very kind of my target audience were definitely the ones that are turning up. I have attended Spring Fair previously as a customer and had a walk around. And obviously it's massive. It's one of the biggest ones out there. That's something that I'm really going to try and attack.
But I've also got another tip for you. I'd set up a road show because, doing the Spring Fair, you can easily be 20, 30 grand if you want to do it properly with hotels, big space, stands and all that stuff. Other people I know set up a network of hiring hotels around the country and invite shops. So they would hire a function room in a hotel and just set up a trade stand show. They come to you, you invite them. You might only get 15 people come over the 2 or 3 days.
That's a good idea.
Much cheaper to do. Then those 15 people might spend an hour and a half with you without the busyness of a show. That can be a very, very good ROI.
Okay. Yeah, never thought about anything like that before.
Another
idea,
someone else that we buy from that do toys, they have a big van that you can go in. There's a mobile showroom.
So literally come to like a Marsh Farm and go, come and
it looks great.
Yeah,
it's
all a great
lighted
idea.
in, and you push the sides out so it becomes wider. Again, you then have you put a rep on the road. Reps are great as well. Still in this space, and I think reps are becoming more and more important again, like the good old fashioned bank manager. Banks got rid of all of their sort of direct people. losing my words here, like the good old fashioned bank manager for businesses all went. Barclays got rid of them, Santander got rid of them, and then someone like Alica Bank and Handelsbanken went, well, actually, that's what people really want. So apparently Barclays are putting them all back in again because they've realised that this is so important and people still want human connection. Yeah. There we go.
Right, you had a couple of questions, Tony, that you had submitted, so we'll jump onto them quickly. So how do you promote your business's USP without making a customer feel like they're being sold to via socials or otherwise?
Give me that again.
How do you promote your business's USP without making a customer feel like they're being sold to via socials or otherwise? I think you do sell to them as a point of doing social media, isn't it? Yeah. Just tell them about the USP. The USP doesn't have to be, it's cost or whatever, because your USP isn't that. It's finding a fit that actually works for you. So therefore it will resonate with those who have got a 54 chest and a 21 neck, and it won't resonate with people like me who are 38, 15.
I mean, the best way of telling your wife that you fancy a bit of nookie is to go in naked, standing to attention, saying, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's not beat around the bush here.
Also, parts of that. Also, it's very good for building up resilience doing that as well, because you learn to take a lot of no's.
Yeah.
Painful. So don't worry about that. Just get on. You're doing a good job with the socials anyway. I think you just
at least that's what I used to do 10 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Now don't even bother trying. No. Chances looking, go, what are them two talking about? You'll find out, sunshine. Oh, you'll find out. Question number 2. I've been approached by some VCs and they want to set up a meeting. Is this the right move?
Absolutely go to the meeting. You will learn a ton of stuff, what they look for, what your weaknesses are. These are going to be smart people that know how to make money. You don't have to say yes. If a VC writes to me and say they're interested in my business, I would always meet them. And I've met them many times over the years. I've never gone and done anything, but I've always come away thinking that's a good idea or that's a bad idea. We're on the right course. And I don't think, there's never a bad meeting with other people's money.
Oh, that's a quote. Stevie, did you get that one? That's a clip right there. There you go. Go and do it. Definitely worth it. Final question then. If I feel like I'm in total burnout trying to do all the things and this is just one company, how do you manage all of your businesses without going mental?
Well, I mean, Tony, I do have bad days, and I have bad days where I just think, sell it all. Just buy loads of commercial property, just make content and keep one or two simple businesses. But you shouldn't, comparison is the thief of joy. I don't think anyone should look at me and think, wow, this guy has it all. It is very full on my life and lonelier than ever before. Looking now, we do over 50 million in revenue, regardless of the profit, regardless of all the stuff that we've now got, managing that level of turnover, and it keeps on going up. That level of 2,000 plus staff. Just one of my companies today, I saw today that we're going to have to pay £160,000 corporation tax on one of our 40 companies. And I just think, no, I don't want to do that. And then someone's let me down last night, and I just think, no, I don't want to be involved in this. And I do have, I'm just trying to, but I do cope with things more than most. I still have days where I just think, I don't want to do this. And that's the brutal, honest truth of it. But it doesn't last for long. I come back round and, we're good to go again. But the answer, the fundamental answer is, who are your lieutenants around you? And you have to invest in those people if you want to break through. And that might mean that you don't pay yourself for a period of time, because every successful entrepreneur that I've come across has gone through that year of pain where they don't really earn anything and they're paying others, lieutenants and managers, but then the pendulum swings back round. Because really, I think ultimately you have to remember that leaders eat last. And you might be thinking, well, I'm not really paying myself loads now. But, That's what venture capital and VCs do. They'll look at your business and go, yeah, this is a good model. Really what he needs is just £1 million to go into stratosphere. He needs 5 people in e-commerce. He needs an FD and they would fund that while you're making a loss. And then hopefully it'll be a hockey stick where it goes loss, and bosh, it goes. And that doesn't always work out, but when it does work out, wow, we were. Think of a company like YouTube that lost $1 billion every year. I think they're at 7 years. And now, oh my God, does it make some money? I mean, that's, an extreme of the other level. I mean, I think about Rossi Ice Cream, I'll be funding that for 5 years, but, it will make money eventually because, we're funding the losses, funding the team to turn it into a much bigger commercially profitable enterprise. Do I answer the question? Yeah, it's not easy, I don't know if I've answered that. Do I think I have?
I think you have.
Yeah. No, you have. Yeah.
Good to know it's all not roses in your garden sometimes, Jimbo. I think a lot of people think, it's easy when you get to your size. Like, no. It's just magnified when it gets to your size. Right, Tony, tell us, if I am an extraordinarily large and handsome man and I want some clothing, where should I go?
You should go to Suave Owl, www.suaveowl.co.uk. Failing that, we have a shop on Milsom Street in the centre of Bath. We are just opposite Jolly's there. And also, we're on all socials.
There you go.
At Suave Owl.
Good stuff. Well done on what you've achieved so far. Like we said, not many people would roll the dice of opening a retail with no experience, and I think you've done really well. So I think you've got an opportunity to go from good to great, and I hope you take on some of the insights and the wisdom that Jimbo shared and go and action that as quickly as possible.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate it.
Nice one, Tony. Thank you for being on the pod, mate.
Cheers, gents.
Take care. Cheers, pal. There you go, Tony, all the way from Suave Owl. I
really, really think that is a common thing in terms of people sacrifice their income to pay for management and lieutenants for a period of time.
Yeah. When you said
there is no other way, I honestly think, even like what we're making here on YouTube and doing this podcast, I was paying chuds to make the stuff for many years. Frankly, you just don't make anything.
No.
And I think if you think of pharmaceuticals, when you make a medicine, you have to fund it around $1 billion. I think I've spoke about this on the pod before. It's $1 billion that goes in.
And 7 years of testing, isn't it?
Yeah, before a medicine can go on the market. Someone's got to fund this stuff. So whether it's making the next cure for cancer or you're making a content YouTube studio-y whatever machine, there is a period of time where it has to be funded, or the founders, the owners, work for Nount for it to really go to the next level.
I like when you said you might not
unless it's a swapping time for money business, like being a plumber, like being something that. But if you want to build a commercially profitable enterprise that works without you in it, there's going to be some sacrifices along the way.
Well, let's give that lovely guy a rating, shall we? It's time for the 8 Traits of the Greats. The point of the show where James Sinclair grabs the board of destiny, looks down upon it from his ivory tower, and distills the 8 traits that make great entrepreneurs, such as Tony. We're going to rate him out of 8. Go on then.
Starting with the end in mind.
Oh, he did have a bit of that, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Passionate about their cause.
Oh, yeah, he loves clothing. You're mad.
Untold amounts of resilience. He opened in a retail shop. We give him that.
Got to be resilient.
They master relationships with people.
I think you've got to be in that space, haven't you?
Commercial awareness. Didn't ask that. I can't give that.
No.
They innovate. I actually think he gets that. Do you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Master marketers.
You can't have it. Good-ish content, but it's not driving the results he wants.
Well, that's a 5.
Good
score.
That's not bad.
Not many people get a 5.
Not many people get a 5.
It's time for JB to sing the song. Here we go.
It just doesn't work. I mean, if you want a jingle, I don't really want to do
part of the podcast.
It's got a 5. This business is gonna thrive. It's got a 5. This business is gonna thrive. It's got a 5. Shut this fume. I've got to stop.
I just love
it. Fear. I've got to stop.
That's the only reason I turn up.
Angry.
It's how you just. I know that you're musically trained because you just get it.
Well, at least I'm good for something. Not many things. Thanks, Chuds. It's now time for this.
On the quiz that's businessy.
The business quiz.
Business knowledge and it's fun. Which one's clever and which one's dumb? Izzy with
That is right. It is now time for the business quiz. It's the point of the podcast where we do a business quiz related to the subject or the sector in which we have just discussed. Today's business quizzical question is, on average, women spend £459 a month on clothes. How much do men spend each month? So on average, women spend £459 per month on clothes. But how much do men spend each month on clothes?
I'm literally amazed by that. Before we answer that question, can I ask you, are you on Instagram?
Yeah, at James Burt Official.
James Burt Official.
I just don't get it.
You can follow him on Instagram at James Burt Official. And follow me on Instagram. We'd love to hear your...
Where are you? James Burt Entrepreneur. James Sinclair Entrepreneur.
James Burt Entrepreneur. Is that what you are?
James Sinclair
That
Entrepreneur.
backfired, didn't it, when you
didn't
take the
Damn
mick
it.
out of me? James Sinclair Entrepreneur. He's on James Burt Official, which I've always found quite hilarious. Here's the thing. Tickle your bottom with a feather.
What?
Lovely weather today.
Is that a rhyming slang for that? Tickle your bottom with a feather?
I didn't say that.
You did, didn't you?
It's an old Ronnie Corbett thing.
It's not like
He used to say that. Tickle your bottom with a feather. And they go, oh, what? It's lovely weather today. No, if you've got any interesting facts or quotes or anything that you would like us to mention on the podcast, please message it to either one of us on James Burt Official or James Sinclair Entrepreneur, because we do love reading out your quotes and stuff. So women, on average, £459 a month.
459 quid. How much do men spend?
Can I ask Chuds? You've got a young girly whirly.
Well, that sounds weird.
That
does sound weird. Thanks for that.
He's got a lovely... Well, he's younger than us.
Oh, here he goes.
Do you think
it's going to be your
Hannah
wife
spends-
soon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Putting more pressure on he doesn't need. He's just moved in with a lovely girl called Hannah, who's
Hannah.
a teacher and
She is
upstanding member of
fantastic.
society.
Upstanding member of society. Do you think she spends £459 a month on clothes?
No.
Yeah, but this is averaged out, isn't it?
Is
And
your Hayley?
I wonder, no. But I wonder if that includes, when you say women spend, I wonder if they account for the household expenditure of clothing. So like kids' school uniforms and all that kind of stuff. In which case, if you average it out, it's probably about right, isn't it?
No spoilers, but the answer will reveal more averages across the board as well.
Oh, okay.
So actually just about women for this.
Women do like buying clothes, though, don't they?
Wow, we are going gender generalisations that are going to get you cancelled, sure.
No. But I don't care about that. Do you think women buy more clothes than men? We're going to find out in a minute.
Yes,
That
they
is
would.
such a silly question.
Hmm.
Does that even need...
I wonder if these
vocalising.
numbers...
But I know lots of men, like lots of entrepreneurs.
Well, on average.
They do
On
like
average.
buying.
On average.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you know a lot of like very well off you're basically looking at James Martin. Of course he wants to look good because he's half naked dipping every morning, isn't he, on Instagram? That's all he cares about.
What have you gone with?
I've got him over 175 quid. What's it got to do with you?
No, it's more than that. I'm going to go 320.
How much do you spend on clothes per month?
Well, I am sponsored really by Michael Frankowitz. Big
I'm
shout
about
out
to
to Michael Frankowitz.
Well,
All
he's
of
had
my-
one of them for a little while, hasn't he?
No.
Congratulations, Frankowitz.
Bespoke
Back in the
tailor
game.
for entrepreneurs. But all of my suits that I wear are provided by him.
Is he at BMC?
He's at BMC.
Of course
He's
he
a
is.
great entrepreneur. Go and check him out on Instagram at Michael Frankowitz. Or I dress successful people, I think is, or I'll make you look good in a suit is his Instagram handle. And maybe we can put it up on the screen. But I'm going to go with
Wow, you really did
£320.
want a free suit next week, didn't you? Jesus Christ. You put it on the screen, put a photo up of him,
We
put
deserve
below
that.
a
I like
third,
it.
put in a
Hey,
click.
do you know what's really interesting about him is how well he's doing selling clothing in Saudi Arabia.
I know. I keep seeing him on Instagram. He is killing it, isn't he?
But Saudi Arabia have the things that the UAE and Saudi Arabia are doing to attract talent into their country. Have you heard about this, John, about YouTubers? They're saying to creators now, we will pay for you to have a studio. We will give you the money to build the studio. Did you know about this? That's what the UAE are doing now.
Not surprised.
So if you're Supercar Blondie, for example, and said, yeah, she does live over there, but you know, some of those big influencers say, come over to the UAE. We will give you some money to build your studio and you don't have to pay any tax.
So we're kicking the talent out of our country and they're going, come on then.
With
Come on
incentives. With incentives.
Yeah.
I'm going 320.
I'm going 175. What are you going for at home? Oh, good guess. I like it. The answer is, oh, here he goes. Here he goes. Oh, no, I'm not having it. The answer is 150 squidderoonies. The most common spend per shopping basket is between £25 and £49. The average consumer spends around £3,000 a year on clothing, and 51% of UK consumers must buy clothing, shoes, or accessories every single month. Just to verify that again, that is the answer.
No, you don't spend £3,000 on clothing, do you?
I haven't spent £3,000 on clothing in a decade.
This is great!
Oh my! Yes! This is what we want. This is what we want.
Oh,
That's got some weight to it. Oh,
yes! I
if
got
you-
the wooden spoon.
And I've got the biggest cup you've ever seen in your life. If you're watching, if you're listening to this rather than watching it online, then usually we have a cup and a wooden spoon for the winner and loser. It's normally been a rubbish prize. Now it is a gargantuan prize. A massive winner chicken dinner has been engraved on that as well.
Who organised this? Trace organised this. Well done,
she
Trace. The best PA in the world.
She's flipping
Can I just say
fantastic,
a
isn't
massive... I just love her so much. And she's, we should do a little session.
It's actually made of metal, that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, no, look at that. We should do a little session without what we're doing here, where you ask me some questions about team members and stuff.
Isn't that the book that you're not publishing anytime?
No, we've done it, actually.
You've done
That's
it, have
out.
you? It's done now.
Yeah, it's
Fantastic.
done now, the dream team. But no, I think we should...
I think I would like to hear an episode with Tracy
Yeah.
on it. Oh, imagine Tracy Shaw. Would you do it?
Yeah,
I could ask her.
I think she'd do it.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think we should do one with Chance.
Oh, yeah.
It should be another bucket of content.
That is absolutely... Feel the weight of that. That's quality, that is.
Wow.
No messing about.
But you've been winning a few of these recently,
Tell you what. I'm used
See,
to some of
that's
those
what
things.
happens
doing
when you
quizzes.
spend time with me.
Good.
You get smarter.
Oh, here he goes. He's managed to turn it back on himself. Of course he did. Right, well, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the podcast. This episode of the podcast. If you have, please feel free to give it a 5-star rating or review wherever you download your podcast. If you'd like to know what that horrible slurping sound is, please go onto YouTube for the full context.
Just going to mix your tea up.
Thank you for. We should have a cup of tea out of that later. What are you gonna flog them? Look at that.
Ladies and gents, if you're loving the podcast, why not come along to one of our live events? We're running the next one, which is all about buying companies, buying businesses. Go to my website, jamessinclair.net. There's also a link in the video description on all those deals and deals and deals and deals.
Can you just clarify as well? You say we, it's not we, because otherwise people will be like, I ain't going to go listen to that geezer.
No,
it's just you.
It's me.
He uses the great leaders say we, and he's got 2,500 staff. He says we all the time, doesn't he? That's a bit... Bloody hell, that's got some weight to it as well, isn't it? Where on earth do you buy a 2-foot spoon?
I think that's from I recognise the people on the back. It's our nursery suppliers where we buy all of our props for our nurseries. Right, there we go, gang. We will see you in the next one. If you're on YouTube, if you're listening on Spotify, please subscribe. It means more than you'll ever know.
Oh, that was emotive, wasn't it? Right, see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching today, gang. I hope you enjoyed the show. Now, look, we're looking for some great businesses to come on the podcast. If you've got challenges, but you're desperate to grow your business and you can't necessarily work out how to do it on your own, you'll be a perfect candidate to come here on the podcast. It's absolutely free to come on the show. Go to my website, jamessinclair.net, and there's a podcast button. Click on the podcast button, fill in the application form, and we'll do our very best to get you on the show and try and grow your business.